Finissimo, finissimo, finissimo. Stop it with the finissimo. If you've ever said that out loud, this video is for you. Look, there's more than one octo in the world, you know. There's the Octo Finissimo in all of its variations, which we love dearly and we've talked about endlessly. And there's also the Octo Roma, which has released some stealthy models in the last few years that have slipped under the radar entirely, which is why we're bringing this bad guy back. This is the Bulgari Octo Roma WorldTimer in a very stealthy sandblasted black DLC case with a sandblasted black dial. Why would we talk about a watch that's a couple of years old now? I'll tell you why. It's because we bloody love it. This is a hot take, guys. There's a watch that slipped past with very little fanfare because its other brother was off there winning awards. This is like one of the Hemsworths that you don't even know about. It's a great watch. And honestly, it came in, it wasn't ever going to be shot today, but I said, yes it is. One of our team members thinks it's the best octo ever. It's his Bulgari that he wants, and I wore it around a little bit, did a post on Time+Tide, and I thought, you know what, I kind of agree with you. It's pretty cool. So let's go through some stats about this watch and consider why it might have slipped under the radar. Maybe it's because it's like a Nighthawk plane. Maybe it's because it's actually so stealthy that it didn't actually get radar detection. Who knows? It's the reference 103486 if you're going to go Googling now. As I said, the case is sandblasted DLC coating with a sandblasted black dial, which has a very finely textured dial. The indexes and numerals are in a kind of an off-white, which plays nicely with that matte black. And then you have an enormous amount of dial text for all of the world's cities in peripheral discs around the outside. However, it's not very busy because you have this nice, open, clean central dial. The specs of this watch are a 41mm diameter with a perfect 11.36mm height. This watch is absolutely perfect in terms of its specs. It is well under 50mm, it's 45.6mm lug to lug. I love the way this watch wears. It has a rubber underside that is super nice on the wrist. It has a woven rubber topside that is made to emulate sailcloth, and yet that's also rubber and padded. So it's quite deceptive, very, very comfortable. And again, everything about this watch is stealthy. You have to look closer to find out what's going on. In terms of how to read this 24-hour dial, we have a disc with 24 hours on it, which lined up next to all of the world's time zones. Now, my one complaint about this watch is that 24-hour disc, perhaps in keeping with its Nighthawk stealthiness, is all black. I would have liked a black and white contrasting scheme. Please, next time, Mr. Stigliani, hear my prayers. The movement is the BUL257 movement, which beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has a power reserve of 42 hours, and it has a decorated movement. I would have liked a skeletonized rotor. We have Côte de Genève on the rotor, which obscures a lot of the movement. So in closing, this watch is for anyone that said, oh, I'd love to have an octo, but the Finissimo is too thin. You're out of excuses, pal. This watch is probably the answer. Go and check it out. Thanks for watching Time+Tide.